Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, the 6th of September. Thank you so much, everybody, for being online, and for those guys that have just figured out Zoom, and this is your first call. This is such an exciting one because we're going to talk about our annual UK conference that most of us have just come back from, and we're all absolutely buzzing with excitement because of the reduced Christmas range that's gone on the website today. I'm unsure at this moment whether that has actually stopped or not. I couldn't quite hear from the conversation, but the turnover we've had through our business has been absolutely immense. It's insane. We've had so many people going to district manager qualification. We're going to have people completing. So that festive Christmas range that everybody's purchased for themselves and for their business, people are going to be using that to show other people what the range is, why it's so amazing. And that's going to help those other people with their Christmas shopping. It's going to be convenient for them. It's going to help them get gifts for other people. That's going to promote their own business. And it saved us all an absolute fortune because we're shopping from our own tills at a huge discount. Add on that the glitch that the website's had today, which I think is why so many people have just been ordering like loads and loads and loads of the sets with that huge discount. So it's been amazing. So my name is Danny Wells, Regional Vice President. I know it says Zoe Allen, but I'm using her ID number to do this call. And we're going to just talk to you a little bit about AAC. And I've got a few people that are going to talk about their experiences as well. But I'm going to start. So AAC is our UK annual conference. So it only happens once a year, and it is an absolute must for your business. So next September, the dates haven't been released yet, but it will be September next year. It's usually the second or third weekend, but this year it was the first weekend. So just block out all your weekends next year in September, just to make sure that you're going to be at AAC, because it has just blown so many of us away. So we arrived on the Thursday, area managers and above, and we were just absolutely spoiled like mad. So when you go next year, you've got to make sure you're an area manager or above at the least, because we were just giving gifts, ready-made protein shakes, fizz sticks. It was just literally like, here you go, here you go, here you go. And for me, what was so massive was the lanyard that you get. So I'm just going to show you mine. So you get this, you get your name on it and your management level. And then you get what, let me read this, what country you're from, so United Kingdom. And then you get what nation you're in. So we were in the international nation. So what that means is, whatever your national vice president is, that's what nation you sit in. So in the UK, everybody is, well, most people are in a nation that's a descent from Caroline McFarlane's nation. So you've got the Gifford Nation, the Stuart Armfield Nation, Sarah Dunning Nation, and anybody whose national vice president is from another country, you get put together as an international nation. So that's who we sat with, international nations, everybody that has a national vice president elsewhere in another country. Next year, we will all be sat in different nations. So there'll be the Allen Nation, the Wells Nation, the McCarthy Nation, the Cowie Nation, and so many, many more. Okay, I'll read that out. Then you've got I Am an Arbonne Angel, which is where if you give to charity, you get a thank you added to your lanyard. Then you've got the trip. If you achieve the trip, so we have an incentive trip every single year, and it hasn't been announced what it will be next year. This year it was a cruise. However, everything that you did in your business throughout August will go towards that trip to achieve it. And if you achieve that trip next year, you get it'll be a 2016 AIT Achiever. So you'll get that. Then you've got your levels of promotion. So anything that you promote from September now to next September. So if you promote to district manager, area manager, regional vice president, and national vice president, any of those you promote to, you get an additional one on your lanyard. So you can have all of them added on. And then lastly, you've got first time attendee, if it'll be your first time next year. And if you're a speaker, you get speaker added on there. So thrive for something like this or longer for your vision board. So write down now for your vision board what you want on your lanyard to say. Do you want it to say speaker? Do you want it to say that you won the incentive trip? Whichever promotion. So make sure that's on your vision board. So that for me is going on my wall because I'm so proud of that, next to my Vegas one. Okay, so for me, this was my first AAC. And I went as a new district manager, area manager, and regional vice president, and it was so exciting. I absolutely loved it, and I felt like I couldn't believe that I'd never been to something like this before. So I worked at an optician's for 7 years, and we never ever had that kind of recognition that we had from AAC. We were just recognised so much for building a business. It didn't matter how little people's businesses were, you were just recognised equally as the person that was building a multinational nation or business. everyone was recognised so well. So when we arrived, we got given free bags, and they're gorgeous bags. The men got something slightly different, a man-style bag. It was full of goodies. Between our multi-region, we got CDs, brooches, something to wear at the neon party. We just had so much fun. So, fun aside, what I got from AAC. So I made quite a lot of notes. I've actually got about 9 pages of notes here, but I'm not going to go through all of them with you all. But I am going to send them out in an email, so people do want to read the notes that I made. So a couple of the people that really, really stood out for me, I'm just going to tell you about, and then I'm going to share with some other people in the team who have got some inspirational stories to tell. So I heard a lady called Shan Elliott speak, and she is director Stuart Armfield. And the reason why they know each other is because Stuart is obviously a performer in London, and normally he stays in different hotels when he performs all over the country. And one day his mum decided to ring up somewhere that rents rooms. So a lady called Shan had a couple of rooms to rent, and she rented them to performing students. And Stuart's mum, this is a complete coincidence, just rang up this lady and said, oh, can my son stay with you when he comes up to Scotland? I think it was Aberdeen, when he performs. She was like, yeah, sure, you know, this is the going rate, yada, yada. So it was Stuart that stayed in Shan's house, and they made friends, and they were really good friends. And he told her about Arbonne, but she wasn't interested at all. She already did direct sales with cleaning products, and she just wasn't interested, but they remained friends. And then I think it was about a year down the line, I can't remember the exact dates, that her mum got really ill, and she had cancer, and she passed away. And it was shortly after that that she thought of Stuart, because she thought, if I had had my Arbonne business, I'd have been earning an income while I was helping my mum while she was so unwell. And so she rang him up and she said, I'm doing it. So she jumped in, and she said, so this was her training. She said, when you first hear of the Arbonne opportunity, what are the 3 words that come to your mind? So she had us all write it down. So if you've got pen and paper, write down what the 3 words were that jumped to your mind as soon as you heard that Arbonne opportunity. So for me, I wrote down excited. So I was thinking about the drive back from Grantham when Emma had first told me about Arbonne in her loose kind of form. I wrote excited, ready, and elated, because I remember that drive back from Grantham to Melton just being like, this is it. And I probably could not have put into words what this was, but I felt ready. I was like, this is it. And I was so excited. So then Shan said, how did you feel traveling on the path less traveled throughout your journey from starting your business? And Shan said, clearly said, how fortunate are we to be surrounded by people with like-minded goals? Because although we are independent business owners and we're all running our businesses independently, we're surrounded by other people doing exactly the same thing, and we're supporting each other. We're all helping each other on good days and bad days, and all bouncing off one another. So we're so lucky to have that. There's not many communities that would actually have what we have. And she says to herself every day, she reminds herself of the 3 F's. So she says, I am fabulous, I am fearless, and I am free. And she says that to herself every single day. I am fabulous, I am fearless, and I am free. And she's added now that I am 50, because she recently turned 50. So that there are 4 F's now. She says, Arbonne gives us a sense of family and community feel. This is something that's really rare in any industry these days. So what Arbonne has for us is incredibly rare. And her 5 top tips are this. Trust your gut, because it's not usually wrong. And I love that, because I so agree that you have to trust your gut. So when you hear something and your gut is telling you, just go for it, you've got to go for it, regardless as to what anybody else's opinion is, you have to follow your gut, and you really, really do. So I love that as her first top tip. Her second top tip was have a strong belief system. Belief is a decision, and you have to work on that. So it's like a muscle. You don't just one day decide to believe. You have to work on that, like exercise, and you have to feed that. So you have to feed your brain to believe. So tonight we've done a bit of training on the Genius pads, and it's helped. Again, I already know the Genius pads work because I use them on myself. I already know that. By hearing the training again about what it is about the Genius pads that makes them so good has made my belief go even higher, even though I already use them and I know they're good, but it's just fed that belief. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. Oh, there's some people I haven't thought to tell about those Genius pads because they'd really benefit from that. So you have to work on your belief. Even if you feel it within yourself, you think, you know, this is what I believe, you still have to work on that. So number 3, ask for what you want. Have a crystal clear vision. Thoughts always become things, and focus on what it is that you want, not what you don't want. So what your mind sees, what you don't want, oh my gosh, I can't read my notes. it will gravitate towards exactly that. So when you focus on being in debt, it will push you further into debt. And when you focus on wealth, it will work towards that. So we need to focus on things that we do want. So if we focus on being poorly and we're like, oh, I'm really ill, then likely that's just going to manifest and we're just going to attract more illness. And if we've got like a little bit of a pain in our arm, it's suddenly going to become like a strain. It's like, oh God, because I'm really ill, because we've manifested that. Whereas if we wake up in the morning and we've got that pain in the arm, but we think, oh no, I feel really healthy today, no, I'm all right, just stretch it out, then that, again, that's what your body will gravitate to. So rather than thinking, I don't want to be in debt, you're going to work towards being in debt. You're naturally going to go in that direction. Whereas if you think, I want to be wealthy, I want to be earning an extra £2,000 a month or whatever it may be, you're going to work towards that. So don't focus on what you don't want. So don't say, I don't want to be in debt, or I don't want to be ill, or I don't want to miss my child's first swimming lesson at school. Focus on what you do want, because that, again, that's going to help. So I love that. And I put, your brain will gravitate towards that like a pulling magnet. So number 4, step out of your comfort zone and get comfortable being uncomfortable. So in life, if you want something that you don't have, you're going to have to do something that you've never done before. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because there's never going to be a point where you're going to think, I'm absolutely fine with being uncomfortable with this now. You're never going to get that. You're always going to be stretching yourself to the next level. So for me, this time a year ago, I would never have spoken in front of 2 or 3 people, never in a million years. And now I'm comfortable with doing that. But then I think, okay, but if I speak in front of 1,000 people, that's really scary. And yeah, it is. But then that day will come, and then I think, this is fine. And then there'll be the next level. There'll be like 100,000 people. So you're always going to have that part of you that's uncomfortable. So you just have to get on with it and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So number 5, the last one, aim to be the best at everything you do. Grow yourself so that you can grow others. And this, again, this comes down to the learning side of your business. So the personal development, growing within yourself so that you can teach other people these skills. So I know now, where I am a year down the line from being my business, I'm a much better sponsor than what I was a year ago, because I've grown within myself. I've got skills now that I didn't have before. I've got more empathy, more compassion, more patience. So I've grown to a point where I now believe that I'm a lot better than where I was last year. And it excites me to think in another year's time, I'm going to be even better. So just keep growing and growing and growing, and always striving to be better than what you were yesterday. Okay, so if you go back to those 3 words that you wrote down, if you wrote them or thought of them when you first heard that Arbonne opportunity, so mine were excited, ready, and elated. She said, ask yourself, right, okay, so what 3 words best describe how you feel now you've travelled along the journey, whether that's been a few weeks, a few months, a year, several years. What are the 3 words that explain how you feel now? So I was like, okay. So I got my pen and paper down. I wrote elated, which was exactly the same as one of the first words. And then I put excited, which again was exactly the same word as when I first had the opportunity. And then my 3rd word, I put euphoric, which was slightly different. So the other word I'd used was ready. And obviously now I'm not ready, because I've done that now. So I put euphoric. Are your words similar or the same? And if they're not, then maybe you need to address that, and with yourself and with your sponsor, and work out where it is that you're going, how it is that you're feeling. How do you feel about your business now from when you first heard about it? Because most people feel really excited when they first hear about Arbonne. Do you still feel that way? If you don't feel that way, then you need to address what it is about that is stopping you from feeling that excitement. So I really, really enjoyed hearing Shan Elliott. She, for me, really stood out for the whole weekend of speakers, and there were tons of speakers and there was tons of tears, but I'm not going to take over too much, because I have got a few people in the team that want to share their thoughts. So I could literally go through all 9 pages of my notes. So do you want to go first, Jane?
Hi everyone. So we just had the most amazing time. It was great to just get together with everybody, meet people from side teams that I haven't seen for a while, and meet new people as well from teams that I've never met. And to have people come up to you and go, oh, I know you, and say hello, and you're like, wow, you know, they actually know you just from seeing you on Facebook. That's really special. Loads of speakers, like Danny said, and I think it was, for me, it was the diverse range of speakers that was really good, and each one of them had a different story. But something that rang true through all of them is that they started off either where we are, or they had something happen in their lives that was so awful, and they managed through Arbonne, because of Arbonne, to get out of that and get to where they are now. And it was just really, really humbling to listen to their stories. Just amazing. Some of the stories were really funny. There was a hairdresser guy called Nicky Meta. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his surname, Meta, but he was just hilarious, so funny. And then we had Ollie Best, who was really nice eye candy for the girls. We were like Channing Tatum. We were all like, yeah, we could listen to you all day long, so that was really funny. Martin McKenzie, he was the doctor chap.
Yeah.
He was really, really funny, but just brilliant speaker as well. Had us all laughing. And then a lady called Martine Wright, who was a victim of the 7/7 bombings. Wow, just what she has been through, and to get up and stand up on that stage and talk to us all about her journey, like it was just an everyday occurrence, was just out of this world. Can't put it into words. Just we all cried, laughed, just amazing. And one line out of the whole Arbonne conference that stood out for me, the theme was imagine, and one of the speakers just said, imagine your life without Arbonne. And when she said that, it just hit me like a brick. I thought, oh my God, it frightened me. To have my life now without Arbonne, just don't want to think about it. It would just be awful. So just thank you to everyone, loving it. And I'm going to stop because I'm getting emotional.
We wouldn't be having McDonald's now, would we? With these crazy lot. Suzanne?
Hi everyone. What did I get from AAC? Well, it's a bit like Vegas, it absolutely blew my mind. And when Danny just said I was writing, I'll write a note of what I want to say. And gradually, as she's been talking, my notes that I'm going to say in the next few minutes has got bigger and bigger, because there was just so much there that hits home on every level. A few of the amazing speakers I thought were Area Manager Dina Honey, who started off her talk with just a video, and she had a flannel over her face and she was just scrubbing her face, and you just didn't really know what she was going to do. And after a couple of minutes, she revealed that actually half her face was covered in a birthmark, and how it had knocked her confidence. And with the help of Arbonne and the Arbonne products, she stood up there on stage and felt confident enough to actually show us what she'd suffered all her life with. That was very, very touching and inspiring. Martin McKenzie, again, he was absolutely brilliant. To say that a year ago he couldn't drive, he only had a provisional licence. He's passed his test, and the first car he bought and drove was his white Mercedes. I mean, what more of an inspiration was that? And he told us the 8 reasons to be proud of Arbonne, to be proud of our corporate team, to the scientific advisory board that we have that's, you know, makes a difference daily. They're in touch with the Home Office on a daily basis. Our product and the safety testing that's carried out on them. For the published clinical trials, and they're independent, they're not Arbonne related, they are actually independent clinical trials. Be proud of our evergreen commitment, down to, he even said, the plastic packaging that you get in your boxes. You think we've got all this green and the boxes are recycled and everything like that, and you get the plastic inside, but the plastic is water soluble, which I didn't know. So Jane, when she uses it as a head pillow in the bath, better watch out, hasn't she now? Because it could now dissolve behind her head. Be proud of our innovation, developing new products to deliver great benefits. Be proud that we're botanically based with the green industry, and be proud of our ingredients policy. You know, we have to be proud of what we're a part of on Arbonne. James mentioned Martina Wright. She was so inspirational, what she'd gone through, and she could easily have turned it into a negative and been so angry that she was in the tube train on that day on July the 7th. But she turned it into such a positive, and it just makes you feel that when you're feeling like that, just switch it round and it can change your whole life. Who else was there? Another great moment for us, as being part of the international nations, we were only in a small minority in the arena, but it was a proud moment to see our team members up on stage. Danny, Zoe, Fiona, Laura, Candy, Jennifer. You know, we were there screaming and chanting, and that just brings it home that this is available for all of us. So thanks to all you guys. Thanks to the RVPs for our goodie bags, for our brooches and our fluorescent fascinators and LCDs. That's absolutely great. You know, they really looked after the friendships from us, you know, from all of us in our teams, our multi-regions, it's absolutely brilliant, and they're friendships that will last forever. And finally, the Arbonne charity, the When We Imagine CD, is absolutely brilliant. I was actually listening to it this morning, and just to say that if you go onto iTunes, When We Imagine, it's 79p, and all the proceeds go to the Arbonne Foundation charity. So it's well worth getting it and just listening to it, because it will just give you that extra little boost. And finally, Caroline McFarlane, I actually recorded this and I listened to it this morning, and she was quite inspirational. And it's just, for me, it was like, have a dream about it, dream big, because your dreams will and can come true. You know, don't give up on them. And yeah, just listening to her, I think she, you know, she's clicked in my brain for us baby boomers. We can rock.
Thank you, Suzanne. Okay, so we've got Cowie Area HQ talking.
Hi guys. So this was like my first AAC, a very sort of like event really. It's been in Arbonne since April. I mean, Jen went to Leadership Academy last year, and with obviously coming back from this, she was, you know, saying to me how riled she was by it all, and you know, she had a real big fire on her belly. To me, I didn't really kind of get what she was going on about at the time. I was really oblivious to really what Arbonne was all about at this point. But obviously, going to AAC for the first time and going to an event like this was absolutely monumental for me. You know, I mean, seeing some of the guest speakers. I mean, I've got pictures with Stuart Armfield, Claire Fishenden, Nicola Wills, and Sarah Dunning. I mean, we all see them on Facebook, and you kind of put them up on that pedestal where you think they're celebrities, and you do kind of get it in your head they are celebrities. But one thing I took away from it was that, yeah, they are business people like what we are, but they're just normal people like us. You know, they breathe, they wash, they do everything the same as what we do, but we put them on these pedestals because they've really done well in their business. But one person who really stood out for me, and she was kind of inspirational for me really, and this was Nicola Wills, and she was obviously approached by Stuart Armfield years ago, and he was like, oh look, come and join the business, and she was like, yeah, well, I don't really want anything to do with it, but he saw, you know, the vision in her, what she could do, but she didn't really want to have a go at it. But eventually, Stuart Armfield got her to this, kind of conned her into this, yeah. So he kind of conned her into like this event where she was going to go for a meal, and it was basically an Arbonne Christmas party. So, you know, she was there, she's kind of conned into the actual act, but he kind of explained to her, look, all it is basically switching from what you're, you know, using, telling others, and she was like, light bulb moment, I can do this. So, you know, to me, it just goes to show that, you know, you don't judge a book by its cover, and you just go out there and do it. But she basically made a quote to me, you know, which kind of rung in my ears, which was, you know, a man is not a financial plan. So with this, she met this guy who had lots of money, and she was kind of taken in by him because he was spending lots of money on her, and she loved this lifestyle, and she wanted the money and everything like that. But it kind of backfired on her a little bit. He was something that she didn't really, you know, want, and she kind of had to stand up on her 2 feet and come out and say, no, I'm not having any of this. And she's, you know, she got up on stage, and for a little lady, you know, she kind of stood up there and thought, no, I'm going to do this business, and she did. But you know, it's definitely, you know, so she basically resonated with me as a person to think, you know, don't judge a book by its cover, because when I first saw Nicola, I was thinking, okay, I'm not really too sure how to take her, but in all fairness, she really, really, you know, got to me.
Yeah, I think that's it. Going to these events, you meet the MVPs, and us sort of saying to my team, you've got to come because you'll be meeting Stuart Armfield. I'm not sure if they took me seriously, whether they thought I was winding them up. But then they did meet Stuart Armfield, and they did meet Claire Fishenden and asked for coaching there. And I met Melanie Dean in the corridor, and I sort of said, oh, just briefly, can you give me a book recommendation? She had time for me. She gave me 5-minute coaching in the corridor, which was amazing. But all the MVPs are like that. And it's Lucy, she used to be Lucy Gilbert, and now she's Lucy
Bardrick.
Yes, Lucy Bardwick. And she said on her speech, it's not despite the bumps along the road that I'm here, it's because of them. And when you meet the MVPs and, you know, even like the executive area managers that are just about to go into region, you realise that that's true, that everybody has hard times, everybody goes through rejection and knows, and it's how they deal with it, and they deal with it because they're doing the personal development and they've got the right mindset to go ahead, and it's just making them stronger. And they've had the same, you know, I can't remember who said it, but they quoted Jim Rohn, and it's not, I think it was Lucy, not Lucy, the pirate lady.
Anna West.
Yeah, she said it's not the wind that blows on us, it's the setting of the sails, and that really resonates.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a brilliant event, and everybody has to go. Everybody should be at Vegas, definitely. It's really fired me up for Vegas anyway. And the tickets will be available for Vegas in the next couple of months, I've been told. So, yeah, I can't wait. We've got our hotel booked already, and we're definitely going to be there. I mean, AAC is a mini Vegas. There's only 2,000 of us. At Vegas, there's something like 18,000 consultants there. So not just the training, it's the energy and the people that you meet. You get so much more outside the training as well as inside. So everybody has to go.
Yeah, I really do, you know, agree with Jen on this. You know, you do come out of these events as a different person with more determination and more passion and more drive for the business, because we can all get complacent and we can all get to that lull in your journey. So this, for people who, you know, who want that extra, you know, kick up the bum, is certainly, you know, it's given, you know, it's given me a newfound freedom, you know, to actually go out there. Yeah, I actually feel sort of go in there and do it. I mean, I can see Sarah Gibson nodding. I mean, you know, it will give you. No, it will certainly give you that, and it certainly has done for me. And you know, you write your notes and you come out as a stronger person. You've got so much more passion. You know, even we all, yeah, and belief. You know, we've all got passion and belief, and you do come out sort of like times 10. So it's well worth the money. It's fantastic.
They do look after you. You get your lunch and you get presents and loads. We got loads. We
That's great, guys. Thank you for that.
Thank you
For that 2-minute little speak. Right, we've got Leah next. Leah Baxter.
Sorry, I missed that. I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
I was like, it just broke up. Just you said it. I was like, is that me? Right. Okay. A lot's already been covered, but I just a couple of things that I would particularly want to stress. I agree with everything that's already been said. Again, this was my first AAC, and I almost didn't go. It was a lot of money. The tickets, you know, you think, well, £200 is quite expensive. So I almost didn't go, and I thought, no, do you know what? Everyone says you've got to get to these things. You absolutely have to get to these things. Like, I can't believe I almost didn't go. It was so, so good. And it put a fire in every single one of us that was there. Just to move forward, and it's just incredible what it gives you. I learned so, so much. Every single speaker was just brilliant. They were so, so good. They had so much information to give, and so many of them gave their top tips. You just get so much information without being there. You can't pick up and you can't take all of that in. But key things, this business is really, really simple. Okay? It is so simple, and we kind of overcomplicate it sometimes. It's not necessarily easy. You do have to work hard, but it is just as simple as it sounds. Okay, so hard work and consistency will pay off. Again, Martine Wright was such a highlight for so many people, me included. Just as I think it was Suzanne said, how she's overcome adversity, how she turned something that was so terrible to lose her legs in the way that she did. She's just turned it into a positive. I think Fiona said at one point, as she was speaking, you didn't kind of feel sorry for her at all. You just were inspired and in awe of how she's turned the situation around and what she's achieved and accomplished because of who she is and who it's made her today. The pity parties, you need to pull yourself together, just get on with it, go out and live and achieve what you want to achieve. just lastly, the biggest highlight for me was Caroline McFarlane. She was the first MEP in the UK, and all the other nations in the room, apart from the international nation where we were sitting, they were all in her downline, and it must have been, I don't know, about a good 90% of the room, I think. So every single one of those people there has come from her decision to say yes 7 years ago. Seeing where she started, we saw some old photos of her and Ian Pritchard, and they looked very different, trust me. But to see that they can do it and where they've come from, it instills this belief in you, and I think that is just the number one thing that everyone has come away with. They tell you that if you go to these things, your belief increases by 100%. I can't even stress that enough. You just come away absolutely 100% believing in this business, but also believing that you can be successful and get to where these people have gotten to.
That was brilliant, Leah. Thank you so much for that. Okay, we've got Sam Ball.
Hello. Right, 2 words, post-emotion. No, in all seriousness, it was absolutely fantastic. I don't think there are actually words that can sort of describe the feeling that, you know, you had coming out of that. I mean, I literally walked away and I just didn't know what to say. I was just totally speechless, which is very rare. But no, and I think I have to agree with what Danny said as well, with regards to, you know, how sort of humble and, you know, genuine every single person was at that conference. Now, an example of this, I mean, obviously you had your EMVPs and that, who you can just tell are just oozing that sort of, you know, they've just got all genuine, really genuine stories and were really lovely. But there was, we all got these free bags and I bashed quite a few people with them. So, you know, the girls that I was hanging out with, we all apologised and just said, look, if we bash each other, we just won't apologise again. And I was stood in one of the rooms and I turned around and I bashed this lady with my bag. And I turned around, obviously really apologetic. I'm really sorry, you know, and she went, oh no, don't worry. It's Arbonne's way, I think, of getting us all to introduce ourselves. And then she just introduced herself to me and we just got chatting. And I thought, do you know what, if I did that in the street, I'd probably get a dirty look and someone would like walk off mumbling away to themselves. But I just thought that was just a perfect example of the kind of people that were there. And yes, the speakers, I agree, were all incredible, but for me, it was just, you know, being in the nursing kind of industry as well, you know, I'm all sort of people. And I just thought this is just like such a worthy, almost cause, but, you know, it's just a really good place for me to be putting my time and my energy. You know, it's not just going to help me, it's actually going to impact on potentially, you know, hundreds and thousands of people, you know, in the long run. And that's just incredible. So yeah, I couldn't recommend going enough because you really have to experience it.
That was lovely. Thank you, Sal. That's so funny about the bag story as well. I didn't know that. I thought you were going to say you bumped into an ENVP or something. Although it probably was an ENVP in the making. And then we've got Cheryl and Phil sharing their experience. Are you on, Cheryl and Phil? Okay, we'll go on to Victoria McHale.
Hi. So I nearly didn't make it to AAC. It was a last minute thing in the last few days before I managed to get hold of a ticket. So I didn't go on the Friday. I thought it was, because I was at work, but I thought it was still worth making it to the Saturday. And I was totally right. And I'm so glad that I did it. Even though like I had the whole ticket, I only went on the one day. It was so worth it. And I just spent the whole time like virtually in tears. It was just so emotional. And I think the speaker that hit home most to me, which people have already mentioned, was Martine Wright. So I've always firmly believed, even before Arbonne, that things happen for a reason. And she talked about how you always need to find the good out of a bad situation. But I kind of last month had this bit of a moment when I was cleaning up that I just decided, it just kind of came to me that the whole, if you know my story, that my little girl was ill at 5 weeks, that as bad as that was, and I'd never ever want anyone to go through that if it hadn't have happened, then I wouldn't have met Danny and I wouldn't have started in Arbonne. And it's the same thing for her, that if that hadn't have happened to her, then she wouldn't have become the person that she is. And these things really do happen for a reason. So that was a real emotional moment for me. I also like listening to Claire Fishenden when she was talking about your why power and making sure that your why power was strong enough. And she was talking about how your why power needed to be stronger than your knockdowns. So she said that we're all going to go through tough times, and we're always going to get those knockbacks, and we might meet people that try and talk us out of what we're doing, or we might be tired one night and don't want to do that last email, or whatever it is. Our why power needs to be strong enough to get us motivated. And she talked about if it's not, we need to find it. We need to find that why power. And she showed us a clip of Buster Douglas, and he was a boxer who he spoke to his mom about fighting Mike Tyson. I think, I'm not very good at boxing, but I think at this point Mike Tyson had never been beaten. I don't even know if I'm using the right words here, I'm really not into boxing, but he'd never been defeated, or whatever you say. So Buster Douglas said to his mom that, I'm going to do it. And his mom went out and said, you know, my son's fighting him and he's going to beat Mike Tyson. But it actually turned out a couple of days before the fight that his mum died. So when it came to the fight, I think, again, not good with the boxing thing, but he wasn't doing so well. And then he had to just come back from somewhere, he'd been knocked down, and he had to get back up. And he said he could either have died there with his mum, not literally, he could die there, or he could just get up and then he just could do it. And he did. He beat Mike Tyson, and it was because his why power that got him through that. So I think that just really hit home that we need to have a really strong why power. So they were the two that massively stuck out to me. And one little tip that somebody, when we was talking about the Christmas party, so I know lots of us bought the Christmas gift set. I thought it was a really excellent idea, and I'm going to do, and I'm going to get Phil, my husband, on board with this. But they suggested that you get a load of men together and say that we're going to have a party, and you're going to be able to do all your shopping in one night. You won't have to go in all the queues. You won't have to make the decisions even. Like, we as ICs can help you choose the gifts that you need for your mom, your sisters, your other half, and then just get them all together and do a massive party, and all their shopping's done in one night. And I just thought that just sounded like an amazing idea. And I think I heard on the WhatsApp group that somebody's already rounded up 8 men ready to do that. So I'm definitely going to be doing that too. But yeah, it was definitely amazing. And was it Joe? I think I can see Joe cheering. Yeah, so definitely worth going. And next time I'll be there for both of the days, all of the days.
Thank you. Okay, last person that wanted to say something, reflection of the weekend, was Ian Wells.
Evening.
Well, I was going to have to come in and help then.
Well, fancy saving me till last. Everyone said everything. I've got nothing left to say. You could have come to me a little bit earlier on, you know what I mean? Danny pinched from a spot and then Vic pinched from a spot. But no, honestly, what a tremendous 2 days it was. You know, like a lot of people, it was my first AAC as well, and didn't really know what to expect. You know, can it live up to all the hype of how good it can be, and seeing these, you know, celebrities in the Arbonne world? And it really did, you know, to hear their stories and how far they've come. And, you know, we sort of, you mean me, I look at them and think, oh, you know, you must have had it all given to you or handed to you. And when you hear them talk, you know, that they were just like us with ordinary jobs and ordinary lives, and they've worked to where they are, you know, but they were all speaking on stage, and it wasn't like, you know, they were just able to do that. You know, they've taught themselves and they've worked with it, and, you know, with where the Ivan wants you to succeed. It really was like, you know, we have the DAs and the Blazers here, and it is like one sort of happy family, so to speak. And to be there for the past couple of days with 2,000 people that felt the same way, all striving towards the same goal and wanting your friends, your family, other members of your team to, you know, walk the stage and achieve their dreams was brilliant. You know, obviously seeing Danny, Laura, Zoe, Candy on the stage, it was fantastic. You know, it was, as a team, it was such a proud moment to see that, you know, representing and well, soon to be nation. So it really was. It was such an eye opener and really inspirational and unbelievable. It was the first one. I'm not going to miss any more. And in fact, I can see Danny laughing, so shut it. So if that was AAC with 2,000 people, and you know Vegas is next year of 18,000 people, the roof's going to come off the place. So, and I'm going to be there, and it's going to be awesome. It really is. So, yeah,
Ian, Mum's feeling
unreal.
proud of you.
Is she?
Yeah, my
Have
son.
we got any? Is there any tears? Yeah, she ain't that bothered then.
Oh, that was lovely. So that was everybody that was going to speak tonight on a reflection of AAC. So as you can see there, everybody took something different. Everybody got something from it. And it's exactly like Sam was saying, sometimes it's not always the speakers that hit you with the biggest light bulb moments. It's the conversations that you have. And I agree with her so much, because although I've got like over 9 pages of notes from what the speakers taught, actually a lot of the things I learned were just from the conversations I had with people in my team, the side teams, the uplines, downlines, just those conversations that you make, and the fun times and the memories that you make. And another thing that was really key for me was somebody said it isn't about when you hit that goal. So for me, my big goal is to hit nation, but I know that when I hit nation on that day that we make a new nation, it will be the journey that will come to mind. It'll be all these little things that I remember, like the funny things that happened at AAC and the funny things that happened when we did presentations to cushions because no one was there, and that time that we went on to do a Zoom launch and nobody came on. It'll be these funny things that we remember. And we've really just got to enjoy this journey, because we will all be national vice presidents in the blink of an eye, whether that takes us a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, doesn't matter how long it takes. In the blink of an eye, that time will go, and it will be those moments and those memories that we remember. So just try and enjoy them and enjoy everything that you can. And AAC really, really, really gave us that massive enjoyment. So if you didn't attend AAC, make sure that you soak up as much energy as you can from somebody that did, because they will be bouncing off the walls for the next couple of months, literally living and breathing that energy. So get around them, soak up that energy, get your plans down that you're going to accomplish in September, October and November, because these are the big months where everything's just going to happen for you and your business. So these 3 months are huge. If you haven't already, make sure that you get that festive kit. I think that the glitch has been taken off the website now, which is a shame, but I think most people managed to get one. You still need to get one anyway if you haven't got the festive kit, because that's going to really boost your business hugely, and it's all your Christmas shopping done in one go as well. So make sure you get that festive kit, and good luck with your business plan for September. Speak to your uplines about your goals that you're doing for September. And thank you everybody for coming on the call tonight. I know we've gone over, so I'm so sorry about that. I will get that loaded on so that everybody else can listen to this tomorrow. So that's everything. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks, Danny.
Bye. And thank you to all the speakers. You're all brilliant.